NASCAR has always been a finicky business. As much as we love the prospects of a new season, free agency, and all of that, the realization is that there's a tightrope to be walked. The tightrope between talent, team, and sponsorship is always something that drivers have to be cognizant of. And with that as well, you can be a hero one year and a zero the next. You can be the hottest thing one year and hot garbage the next. And with that, there are some drivers who are just going to be racing for their rides in a given year or every given year if they're a journeyman. And today, I want to look at 5 of these guys who are going to be racing for their job in 2025. They might be doing it for different reasons, but all in all, they have come to the same point of their careers. So let's jump on to it. Real quick though, right before we start, I want to let you know that NWP will be live on this channel tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the Season 8 premiere with hosts of myself, obviously, as well as Danny B. Talks and Eric Estep. So be sure to check us out and have some fun tonight live, and we'll talk about probably this and everything else around NASCAR over the last 2 months. So starting off, we have, I think, who's going to be the biggest guy that everyone's looking at with this, and that's Daniel Suarez. While a lot of people will look for Kyle Busch to be one of these guys, I just think that he is somebody that is going to have a ride no matter what, just from pedigree alone, whereas Suarez is the type that I think is reaching the end of the line when it comes to ultra, or at least competitive, rides. Driving the number 99 for Trackhouse, he has been okay, I guess is the best way to put it. And this is the last year of his deal with Trackhouse, which wouldn't be an issue if it wasn't for the new charter agreement, where based on basically every report, it looks like only 3 full-time teams can be held by Trackhouse in the Cup Series. And right now you've got Ross Chastain taking up the 1 car. And you know what? He has been a elite, if not maybe a little under elite driver at different times in this car, has won, and has also been somebody that has just been the franchise driver. You're not getting rid of Ross Chastain for Daniel Suarez under almost any circumstance. And SVG will be up in the Cup Series in the 88 car in the newly formed 3rd team. SVG is somebody who's going to have that ride as long as he wants it. He brings sponsorship and he brings international attention to NASCAR as well as this car, team, everything. Connor Zilisch, he appears to be, well, the heir apparent. And with that, he is going to be the next in line for the number 99. He might not have it in 2026 if he struggles or doesn't meet the expectations of JR Motorsports and Trackhouse this year in Xfinity, but he is an ultra talented and competitive driver, and you can't bank on him not doing well. Suarez needs to show more, for even if he loses this ride, if he's able to run competitively, say win a race or two that's not a super speedway, maybe be consistent, make the playoffs no matter what, or just not suck, he should be good to at least get some kind of ride with sponsorship. The only way I see that he keeps the 99 is if something terrible happens to the 3 aforementioned drivers, or if they are awful, or if Zilisch for sure is awful and can't move to Cup the next year. Next up is John Hunter Nemechek in the number 42 for Legacy Motor Club. He has struggled overall in Cup. Doesn't matter what ride he's been in, it's not been great when it comes to John Hunter. Legacy, though, has struggled as well. This has not by any means been a good or even decent team. They have been pretty much downright atrocious since leaving Chevrolet. If there is to be improvement on Legacy Motor Club, John Hunter Nemechek has to take the biggest jump to keep his ride. I don't think they get rid of Eric Jones. He brings sponsorship, and he has gotten the most out of those cars that anyone possibly can. But when you look at John Hunter, the Toyota pipeline is right on his tail. And it is always backed up with young talent, and it always is full with people who can come up to the top series. And at any point, if he regresses even or just stays the same, there is no way I see them having the patience. He's excelled in the lower series, which could be the best long-term shot for him, but when it comes to the NASCAR Cup Series and the number 42 car, it's going to be rough to convince people to keep him if he is only going to run mid-pack or worse. Another one in the Cup Series is Ty Dillon, who is now driving the number 10 for Colleague. he is up in the Cup Series again after underperforming in his return to the trucks as well as other lower series, and it appears, based on all accounts as well as just visualizing his body language, that his confidence is shot. He needs, I think, merely to show some kind of spark, some kind of way that maybe he can run top 10 in a couple races and outperform at least what maybe Daniel Hemrick has done in the past in that car, or AJ Allmendinger when it's not a road course. He has talent. He showed it early in his career in the lower series, but Kaulig right now is in a rut, and that is going to go against Dillon's best interest. And if anyone can show anything, as long as they keep sponsorship, they will probably get a longer-term deal. That goes for AJ Allmendinger as well in the 16, who is just basically a team player. But for Ty Dillon, if he's able to get, say, 8 top 10s this year, I think Kaulig would sign him to a 2 or 3 year deal. I really do, because the team right now is so stuck. They need somebody that can spark up the team just as much as he needs to spark up his career. So this could be a career year for him, maybe not in performance, but at least in long-term result. Down in the Xfinity Series, Harrison Burton will be in the number 25 for AM Racing. And he just lost his Cup ride when it comes to the Wood Brothers 21 car and is already at a career reset. And he needs it to be a solid reset. It cannot be something that is just more of the same of what he did in Cup. Unfortunately for him, AM Racing and everyone involved with it was pretty much awful all of last year. The personnel was atrocious and completely unprepared. Nobody knew really any of the basics, and the team was set up for failure. Everything planning-wise and decision-wise seemed to be last minute as well, which did not help with those unprepared drivers and people. And speaking of drivers, the inexperienced and lacking NASCAR driver of Hailie Deegan didn't help as well. This team seemingly reached rock bottom in 2024 and needs to at least have some kind of bounce back, both for the Ford side of things and just, well, Harrison Burton. They need an uptick from at least what Deegan did, and probably even some of the subs after she was booted, because they didn't really do much better in the equipment. And if they can get better as the season goes on, Harrison Burton has a real shot of maybe popping up again in his career. The last driver I want to talk about to me is perplexing, driving the number 38 truck for Front Row now with Chandler Smith, and he's already had an issue when it comes to getting a decent ride. He still got demoted down a series, even with that decent ride. He was running fairly well in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, competing for wins and seemingly having the fast track to jump up to Cup at some point. But ultimately, it didn't happen because of sponsorship. He needs to perform, in my opinion, great, because he has, I think, good, if not great, equipment. This could be a great career reboot, or at least a soft reboot, if you will. If he lacks, though, I don't know what kind of good ride would be open to him if sponsorship doesn't allow. Because with Front Row and Ford basically linking up more, they could have another driver in mind. So this is a very important season for him. So with that, let me know down in the comments below, whose job do you think is on the line this year? While you're at it, leave a like on this video and share it, as well as subscribe to the channel for more great NASCAR content like NWP that'll be live tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Can't wait to see you there. Until then, have a good one.